Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today, Deathloop. This is a first-person shooter with a touch of roguelite and a puzzle aspect to it. It was released in September of 2021 by Arcane Studios. This is the same team that brought us Dishonored, Prey, and Wolfenstein Youngblood. Now, Deathloop's not a bad game, but overall, the execution just didn't do it for me. Yet, here we are. It is currently a nominee for Game of the Year by the Game Awards. We'll touch on that later.
Oh, what was that? Whew. That was one ridiculous nightmare. I gotta stop drinking. Okay. How the fuck did I get here?
You awake on a shoreline not knowing who you are or what you're doing there.
Break the loop? You gotta be kidding me. Nope, that's there. I'm seeing it. Ah, man. Who are you? Who am I? My name, son of a fuck! What the fuck's my name?
Your name is Colt, you're on the island of Black Reef, and everyone wants you dead.
Shit! Wasting my time!
Reloading! You should...
You come to find that Black Reef is stuck in a time loop where the same day repeats itself over and over again. Your goal is to break this loop, this death loop. You are pitted against Juliana, who's trying to keep that loop intact.
For the last time, why can't you remember?
No, if you just give me a second.
Oh, you're not even trying.
Oh, lady, I have no idea. Oh, shit, that's not good.
You just hurry up already.
And with that, you start exploring Black Reef.
I never really liked that apartment, and from the looks of it, you didn't either. Why is that?
You gonna call me like this all the time, Julie?
Juliana.
I give approximately 0 fucks about what you call yourself.
But you did. Once. We used to be friends. Colt, can't you read?
Oh, so that's why you told everyone to kill me.
But I'm the only one talking to you. So what does that tell you?
That I hang out with the wrong people. All right. Control center. Shut it down.
Each loop provides more information as to who Colt is, who Juliana is, what this island is, and how you're eventually gonna stop it. You find that there are 8 visionaries you must kill in this single day to break the loop. To do so, you'll have to figure out who they are, where they are, what they're doing, and how you're gonna kill them. Now, this sounds compelling, and honestly, the story wasn't bad at all. There were some great moments and some surprising twists I did not expect. But though it's portrayed like it's a giant puzzle that you need to solve and figure out how to kill all these 8 people in a single day, that really wasn't the case. Playing this game just gave me tons of Dishonored deja vu. Now, yes, I know they are made by the same studio, but they're just far too similar. And this is surprising because their other games feel very distinct. Dishonored, Prey, Youngblood, they're all very different games. Yet as I play this, all I can think about is Dishonored. It's almost like they took the code base, copied it over, and rewrote the story to save time. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The bad part is they didn't change enough to make this feel distinct and different. That being said, the game is mostly good. The gunplay was fun, the abilities and upgrades you find all help you play the game in your own style, but everything very quickly just became far too repetitive. The whole game is set in that 24-hour time loop which you play over and over again. Yes, some actions you make in some parts of the timeline will directly influence events later, which was pretty cool, but the loop itself quickly became tedious and boring. Now, I know a thing or two about looped games. I'm a big fan of the roguelike games where you start over from the beginning and basically replay the same levels over and over again. I have about 200 hours in The Binding of Isaac, 90 hours in Dead Cells, 50 hours in Hades, and 40 hours in FTL. What those games do well is they have a very rewarding loop system. In basically every run, you'd find something new that you'd be able to use in the next run, and each of the runs were actually distinct because they were randomly generated. You wanted to start the next loop. You wanted to go play it again. Deathloop? Not so much. Now, the entire game is supposed to be a puzzle. You need to find out how to kill 8 people in one day. You need to find out who they are, what they're doing, their likes, their dislikes, and use this information to your advantage. And this sounds like a great concept, but you quickly find out that this isn't a puzzle you're going to be solving. Rather, you're going to be told how to solve it step by step by step. The main storyline just gives you a quest marker and you follow it through and you beat the game. What's worse is there's some actually pretty good hidden side quest content that you could do that's completely optional, but a royal pain in the butt due to a lack of a map. Here's one example. Take a look at this. There's a lot you need to do here. You need to take these triangles, you need to put them on the map, you need to go figure out where to go, each of the points, figure out these symbols, look for a number, open up the chest next to it. But here's the catch. You don't have a map. What I wouldn't give for a map that I could go in and make my own notes, make my own waypoints, so on and so forth. What makes this all hilarious is you can find a map and it'll be in your inventory as a clue, but you can't use it. Now, obviously you don't need the map for the main story. It just gives you a marker and you run to the marker. But for all these side quest things like this, you do need a map. Sure, I may do without it, but it was awful. It's just something little like this would have been so much more immersive and enjoyable. You found the map, you can use the map, you can see where you are on the map, you can make your own marks on the map. Anyway, enough about the map. On to the verses. While you play as Colt, a Juliana will invade your world and try to stop you. You can also play as Juliana and try to stop Colts. Now, this sounds pretty good, but it's not. Arcane hasn't done a versus multiplayer shooter before, and it shows. As Juliana, you have basically an endless wait time, but eventually you'll get into the game. Whereas when you're Colts, you can be invaded at any moment. The problem here is that we many times get very large skill, level, and ability disparity between the Colt and the Juliana in play. Many times in the first couple minutes of the first level, I'd be raided by a Juliana who was just absolutely decked out. So there was that going against me, but then I had to deal with this kind of shooting experience. It's just awful. It's not an enjoyable multiplayer experience. I went ahead and did a couple of rounds as Juliana just to see how it was, and after enormous wait times, I finally got in, and I felt overpowered versus the Colt I was against. Juliana's just basically given things to go into the game, and then you're up against a Colt who just barely started a level and has nothing on him. So yeah, if you have this game, go ahead, give it a try a few times, but then do as I do and just disable the online play. It's not worth the headache. Not a lot to say here. The game looks great, the textures are good, the environments are great. They stuck with the 80s motif in the aesthetics and the music, and it all worked out pretty well. It didn't blow me out of the water, but everything meshed together nicely. The words up in the sky as you're running around are cool at first, but then they just get so overused and annoying. I think I would have enjoyed the graphics more if the gameplay just wasn't so tedious. The game does look good. It's just I had so many complaints about the gameplay, it brought down everything else with it. So, is it worth your time? If you're looking for some fun gameplay and want to reminisce about Dishonored, then sure, pick it up. I'd still probably wait for a sale though. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a bad game, but I did really have to force myself to finish it. But Stryftek, it's a nominee for Game of the Year. Well, yep, so is Ratchet & Clank, and I wasn't a huge fan of that one either. Why isn't Returnal in Game of the Year? Why isn't Cannon Bridge of Spirits in Game of the Year? Yeah, they're in different categories, but these are amazing games that should be in the Game of the Year category. Anyhow, I took some time to look over all the games released in 2021 to try to see why these were picked as Game of the Year. I didn't find all that many standouts, so as I go back and look at this list, I do understand where they're coming from. Though I still think they should totally swap some of them out with Returnal and Cannon Bridge of Spirits, because those were just fantastic games. Anyhow, head over to thegameawards.com and go cast your vote. My name's been Stryftek, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. This really helps out content creators. And I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?